Hi everyone, welcome to TGIF, another Friday, another episode. Agents have been making headlines for some time now, and we also heard from global leaders that 2025 is a year where we'll see agents join workforce. Yes, it happened to us at Innovation Hub Bengaluru. We actually onboarded an agent by name Tab, and to speak more about this, my pleasure to welcome Shrikant and Shankar, who are actually the creator of this agent, for a short conversation. Welcome TGIF.
Yeah, hi Sandeep. Good to be back.
Wonderful. So Tab, we formally onboarded Tab into our team last week, Shrikant. Give us a bit of a context. What went into making the Tab? Why Tab?
Yeah, I mean for all the customers that we host at Innovation Hub, there's a lot of preparation work that goes behind the scenes.
Right.
We initially have an internal briefing call where we discuss the needs and then what the goals are from talking to the account team that manage those customers.
Right.
Having done that, we run the customer by them to make sure that we have captured all their expectations right, and then go into details of what actually ought to be covered, and then who the speakers are, what the topics are, and make sure that all their takeaways are taken care of. So while this is great and it is required for the hygiene of how we operate on the ground, this is something which could very well be delegated to an agent like Tab here. The fact that we need to comb through all this information and come forth with a compelling agenda document with all those details captured. So I think we have, what better than a Tab to actually do that for us.
Wonderful.
So we just give it all the briefing notes and then ask it to come up with the compelling stuff and then just goes about doing it very effectively.
Wonderful. So by the way, Tab stands for Technical Architect Buddy. For a technical architect, a member who will basically augment the work on a daily basis. Wonderful. I think eventually the outcome is a crisp agenda for the customer hosting at the Innovation Hub, right? So how does it actually work? Imagine you've been, Tab is available for me. How do I go about using it?
Yeah, actually behind the scenes there are 3 agents. So it's a multi-agent kind of behind the facade of this particular Tab. So the first agent, what it does is that it takes the raw notes from the internal and external briefing notes, and then it extracts all the metadata. For example, what the customer name is, what are the various goals that they have, what is the type of engagement. We host different types of engagement like architects, architecture design sessions, prototypes, etc. And also things that whether it will happen virtually, in person. So all those things need to be captured or inferred. Okay, it prompts you saying that here, this is what I could hear from it. Do you think this is right? This is what it is. So it checks with you, and then you go to acknowledge each of those, and then it builds up stuff. Okay, and then the last part is that it comes up with a list of goals that it identified that the customer spoke about. So we want to better align our agenda with that. So having done this, now the agent hands off to the next part where it looks at those goals that have been arrived at, and then who the right speakers are. Okay, what the duration of a particular session should be, etc. And then gives you in a markdown table format what it thinks should be the compelling agenda. So once you acknowledge that is fine, now it hands off to the third agent, whose only job is to convert this into a Word document based on a template that we use at the Innovation Hub, and then it gives you the finished document. So in a matter of 5 minutes, you should have an agenda which is 80% complete. You still have to give those tweaks and some kind of decorative or some kind of formatting which you want to your taste before you actually roll it out. So that's how it works.
Awesome. Now, when it comes to actually, you said multi-agent, right? Now, when it comes to building this agent, which is the Tab facade, was it a code-first approach or is it a low-code? So tell us more about the core building, technical building blocks of the solution.
Yeah, in fact, it's a code-first approach. I mean, I choose it because I'm naturally inclined more towards that. So that reason being aside, the fact that we need to have different actions taken, okay, and the fact that it's best served through multiple agents. And I think today, the best way to do it using frameworks like LangGraph and AutoGen and Semantic Kernel. I'm fond of LangGraph because of the way it I'm used to it and then sort of gives me those results that I expect. So it's a LangGraph based multi-agent system and then brings forth the experience that we see on the ground.
Wonderful. Shrikant, this is fascinating. Thank you so much for this
Thanks
work.
a lot.
In fact, as I said, 9th member of our team. And the big deal from here on is to monitor, supervise the performance of Tab.
Exactly. Sure.
Wonderful. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. As I said, Tab joined us early this week. We'll start using it. We'll share experience in terms of how Tab is performing, and if it's about if Tab can augment my time at work at the Innovation. With that, thank you so much for watching this episode. Keep watching TGIF. Have a wonderful Friday and a great weekend ahead. Bye-bye.
Bye.